SusanClaire, GourmetQuilter here. Thanks for being here. I'm going to show you today, Welcome to My World Part 3 or Block 3 for our block of the month. Out of our 10 months, we're up to number 3 already, so exciting. So we've already done Block 1, which was the boat, which is this one over here. And then we've done Block 2, and you know all this as well as I do, which was the Ferris wheel, which was this one up here. So we're getting on really well. And this time we're going to do this roundabout here. This is number 3. So we're not doing this station, that comes later, but we're doing the column and all the little swingers and the little tree today. So I've actually gone ahead and I've done most of it already because most of it is things that we've already been doing, fusing on and stitching. So as you can see, most of this has been fused on and stitched. It's very straightforward this time. We just need to keep things fairly straight. So I did finger press a center line, a center fold of the block. So I just did that by finger pressing the block to start with to find that center line, because this column comes straight up the middle of this block. And so I positioned that. You just need to allow for a gap underneath, probably a good 3/4 of an inch or an inch below your bottom piece here. But as I said, keeping it centered and straight is probably the main thing this time, because you want that straight and you want this to be horizontal. So I positioned the yellow column first and I popped the steps on, I popped this little stripe on and these dots on, and then I came up and I positioned this blue as one long section with this piece over the top, and then I placed these darker shapes along here, the lighter ones, but I did position this purpley blue top in underneath these darker shapes. So I positioned those, then I popped this in and the red, and then I ironed all that on top, and then I put the lighter colors and the stars on top. So the two outer stars are a little bit wonky because it's kind of on a bit of a skew there. So just so that you realize that, but your pattern will show you all that. Other than that, we are having fun. So we've got these little swingers, and I just thought you might like to see. So I did everything except the people and the strings. I've stitched all that, so everything was sort of easy to do. And then I've ironed all my people on. So to do the little people, I've ironed just the bodies on first. And then I did actually stitch around the bodies, all of them, without any clothes or anything, because it was just easier to do that. And I've still got him to finish. He is just not dressed. It's not a good look when you're out on a swing. However, I've done all the others, and then I thought I'd just show you this line for the swing is really just straight line stitch. Well, you can do it straight line. I did mine free motion, of course, because I do pretty much everything free motion. So this little star that goes on top, or this quite large star actually goes on top, we won't put that on at the moment. We'll wait till we've got the quilt together, because it will just sit over the seam line. So rather than having it in a funny position, we'll keep that to one side. So I've ironed this little boy on, and I've marked the lines for the swing. So all I did to do that, I've got a ruler here somewhere, okay, was draw a line. So I have actually just drawn them just lightly. So the outside swingers come from this point, these inside swingers come from just in a little bit, and then he's in the center. So I've done them all the same way. So I've just drawn a line following right through to where it would come. So some of it's going to be behind them and some of it's in front. So you could stitch the lines before you do anything else and then put them on in front. I didn't. I've started and stopped where I've needed to, and I find that works just as well. So I have marked my 2 lines, and then there's just a little sort of scoopy bit, almost as if it's a little swing seat on each side, which just helps it sit just where you want it. So I hope that makes that clear, even though I've done most of the work. But we'll go ahead and we'll iron his clothes on. So I've ironed the shoes and the hair on already, but he's got some trousers here, or shorts I think they are, and he's got a t-shirt so that his arms are popping out of the holes. Let's make sure things are sitting just so they look pretty much right. And he's wearing a hat with a little peak on it over the top of that hair. So I might go ahead and just press those bits of clothing in place now. So this particular block is almost square. When you're cutting it out, it's just half an inch taller than it is wide. So just keep an eye on that you do keep it round the right way, that it's taller rather than wider. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch some of this now, but what I might do is stitch, you know how to do all the outline applique stitching, but I might just do some of this line work just so that you can see when I say I free motion stitch it, that's actually exactly what I do. So I've been starting at the top and I come down. So just do a little lock stitch at the top there, and I like my needle to stay down. And then I'm just going to do a straight stitch all the way along. And then I'm going to come back on it. So you could either turn it round or you can come backwards, whichever you're more comfortable doing, or you could use a straight stitch if you didn't want to do it free motion. There's always the chance you're going to wobble. So rather than stop and start again, I'm just going to go down and do the second line now. Going till I get to his shirt, and then I'll come back. As I said, you could turn it round or you could do this as a straight line stitching. And I have wobbled just a little bit. And then just to lock it off, and then I can just take that out. And then to do the rest of the little swing, there's a little bit comes down. This one here is pretty much hiding, although there's a little bit that goes in behind his neck there. Just a short amount, but if you don't put it in, it kind of looks like he's just floating or something. So we'll just pop that bit in. Just the tiny details can make all the difference with these sorts of things. So I think it's worth doing even those tiny little bits. Or you could mark these with a pen, of course. You don't have to stitch these. You could do it with the pens that we're using for the faces. And then I'm just going to do that sort of half of a little loop there. Don't really know what that loop does. It just finishes the end off nicely. I have never built a fun park. And so other than that now, I've just got to go around the rest of his clothes. And you know how to do that. So I might come back and then I'll just show you, I'll do the last couple of faces as well. So I've done some of him. I'm just going to do his shorts and t-shirt. Just free motion edge stitching. I'm just going to skip onto that t-shirt now. Finished. So I've done most of the faces. I think I've got to do this little one that I've just been stitching, and we've got to do the little one in the middle. So I think overall it's looking pretty good. Had already done the tree. So I've got my two marking pens here. I know I've shown you the faces before, but I'll just do these couple so that in case you want to watch me again. So you may want to just mark their eyes roughly with a pencil or pins, or you might just be able to just draw them. So he's going to have two eyes. Well, this is the way I do it anyway, and this one as well. And they need a little mouth. So happy people. in a happy place, having a whole lot of fun. So that was block 3, the roundabout. So we're getting on really well with our welcome to my world. It's a happy place. I hope you're doing okay with yours. Don't forget to join in the community that I've sent the information for. So other than that, I will see you again with block 4. Thank you.